Well, good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh. So sorry for the late arrival. We are having some technical issues. And I'm telling you, it's like things that are supposed to be there aren't there. Other things that aren't supposed to be there are there. And I'm telling you, it's an absolute cluster at this point. So
Uh,
I don't know
Um,
what happened to the presentation. It's just gone.
it's okay. I just want to share with everybody that Sam went in and started changing around permissions while I was mid shift editing the show, and it fried everything. Like the video upload, the anyway, we're good. Let's get James in here. Let's rock and roll. Good morning,
Yes.
everybody.
So, in other words, Sam screwed the pooch again.
Sam, don't push buttons till you talk to your IT guy.
Well, I just thought we were going on as normal. I didn't really,
No, it
who
was
knows?
that when you changed the permissions, you
Yeah.
you gave me the other permissions. You did it while I was in the system making changes,
Oh.
and it blew up. I mean, I had support on. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And then
Oh,
you're
that
like,
was you on support because I was seeing all these messages. I'm going, who the hell are
yeah,
you talking to?
and you're like, hey, I changed your permissions to the other one. I'm like, oh, that's what broke everything because you did it midstream as I was uploading the permissions, and it kept
Oh.
erroring, saying something went wrong. Please try again. So I'm like, support, what the hell? He's like, well, your video's too big. I'm like, it's the same exact video that we've already uploaded. Well, you need to change this. I'm like, oh my God, Sam,
Oh, so it's why yeah, I thought I was being slick by getting it in before we started.
I thought I was being slick by producing a show before we started.
Yeah, well, leave it to me to screw it up.
We
Oh,
are
well.
here. Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Oh, my gosh. Good morning, James.
Good morning. Everything you guys are talking about is way beyond my pay grade.
Yeah, me too, obviously. So, well, all right. Well, at least we're up and running now. I think we are anyway. And I think we're on all the platforms. So let's see. Let's see who we have here. Tim Shaw over on YouTube said, geez, get it together, man. I'm doing my best, Tim. Sue Bowen is here over on YouTube. Good morning, Sue. Wendy Jensen is here on Facebook. Hey, Wendy. We have Jess the Mess from Tex on TikTok. Rick Sr. Good morning, Rick. Wendy from East 10. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wendy from Memphis. Tracy Fagan is here. Sherry from East Tennessee. Joy. Benji 1959 is laughing at us. Can't blame you, Ben. Can't blame you. Kim 55 is here. Good morning, Kim. Charlie from Montana is here. Hi, Charlie. Chris Romano just showed up, and Kathleen Garcia. Good morning, all. Christy B78 from Hayesville, Kansas, just joined us. Oh my goodness! So for those of you who are wondering what the heck happened at 9 o'clock, we are usually on the ticket, on the time, and I did some I don't even know what you call it in the background, and it just screwed everything up. So my apologies for being late. It's my fault. David is here. Good morning, David. Jason Coons. PJ Party Peggy is here. Cindy Lou. Sassy Minnesota Girl. Sassy Minnesota Girl said ear. I'm guessing she's talking about joints. No, no joints for me, Sassy. Sober a long, long time. Native San Diegan just showed up on YouTube, and David Morales. Hey, David. Oh, Santa Barbara Solutions is here, which is free to be me over on TikTok, but he or she is on YouTube today. Wonderful. And now we have all these messages popping up from customer service from Restream. Oh my gosh.
Just cancel it. I told the dude, I was like, I gotta go live. I told him, I was like, we have to be live in like 20 minutes. He's like, oh, no problem. Blah blah blah. I'm like, we got to be live in 5 minutes. I'm done. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, we at least we're here now. Oh my gosh. Cindy Lou is here. Special K765. Dana Mackey. Lord Bullion. Hey, Lord. Cindy Hayden 59. Gary said, I thought for sure you were raptured. We are still here, Gary. Marianne Thompson just showed up. Good morning, Marianne. All right. Well, let's see. Things are starting to settle down a little bit now.
Woosah.
Exactly. Wendy. Hi, Wendy. All right. So, let's see. I guess what we'll do is have Alex do some indices. Are you ready for that, Alex?
As my camera falls over, it's is this a Monday all day? Like, what the hell's going on,
No, I
Sam?
think it's Tuesday. Oh my
I'm gonna go
god.
get my sage and like.
I think yeah, we
Okay.
might have to.
Yes, I'm ready. So,
All right. So let's
good
see
morning,
here.
everybody. Welcome in. It is a fine Tuesday here on September 23rd, 2025. S&P 500 down 12 points to 6,681. The Dow is up 38 points to 46,419. The Nasdaq is down 91 points to 22,698. Meanwhile, I'm looking at gold sitting at $3,804 an ounce.
Wow.
Wow. Meanwhile, silver, and there goes my camera again. Like, you're fired. All right, guys, let's try again. So, silver sitting up 31 cents to $44.60. Looking at the crypto world, guess what, guys? I'm not buying stakes yet. Bitcoin sitting at $112,992. Ethereum sitting at 4186. I'm having a hell of a time with my camera. XRP holding down below $3 at $2.88. Solana down 2% to 219. Cardano down 1% at 82. Sui down. Sui actually just popped up $3.37. XLM Stellar Lumens up 1% to 37 cents. Today's deltas. First one's a little lengthy, but I think it's important. No media coverage. Why? The same people who control the media are the same people who are part of the evil, corrupt system of control, crimes against humanity. You are not meant to think for yourself. You are not meant to challenge their power, obey and accept. Illusion of democracy, illusion of freedom. Why does the media push division? Why does the media incite violence? Why do they pit race versus race, pit religion versus religion, pit sex versus sex, pit class versus class? Divided you are weak. Divided you fight each other. Divided you pose no threat to the system of control. Unity is strength. Unity is power. Unity is humanity. Controlled media plays a major role in shaping the narratives, keeping you powerless, helpless, and unaware of the truth. Enemy of the people, enemy of humanity. That's from September 23rd, 2020. One other one from September 23rd, 2020. Everyone has a choice to make against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. This is some heavy drops today. Some heavy drops. Wendy Jensen said, "Just breathe, Sam." I'm doing my best, Wendy. David Morales said, "Some Dems were hurt during the presentation of this production." Oh my gosh. Ben, thanks for the pirate treasure. That was cool. Oh, let's see here. Tanya Moonsheimer just showed up. Hey, Tanya. Franny Dragonfly is here. Welcome, Franny. Let's see here. Dee's telling me to breathe deep as well over on TikTok. You know, that's the thing, you guys. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and as you know, since we've been doing these lives, there has never been one time where we've been late. Not once till today. So whoever's here today is realizing we made history today. Not the kind of history I want to keep making, but we made history today. Okay.
There's snowballs flying in hell. Just letting you know.
Wow. Baby girl is here, and Crystal Zeski. Hello, Crystal. Patty, good morning, Patty. Oh, geez. Okay, I gotta breathe. I gotta breathe here. James, do we have a military report today?
We do. And just to touch on Dave, Dave is actually harvesting as harvest takes off across the country. Mega Dave is in the combine this morning, and they're starting to harvest corn. I was there last week, and you guys got a little preview of that, but he's going full tilt boogie now. So General David Alvin has said the first F-47 is now under construction, and he's in, and it will be built by 2028. Just so you remember, the cost was 50 billion per copy, and the Air Force has intentions of buying 185 NGADs, and the F-47 NGAD stands for Next Generation of Air Dominance. So Skunk Works, Lockheed's new collaborative combat aircraft, is scheduled to fly in 2 years. It's called Vectis. The name Vectis is in Latin means lever or pole and is meant to reflect leverage that the platform offers. The unmanned aircraft has a broader development philosophy called Agile Drone Framework. It prioritizes modularity and open mission systems as well as interoperability in areas like command and control, architectures, and over any specific hardware. It's a Group 5 survivable, lethal, and reusable drone. With China and other countries watching, engine data, computer data, and landing systems have not been released. It's going to be about 20 million a copy.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. Thank you, James. Stellar report as always. Kathleen Paschke's here over on Facebook. Good morning, Kathleen. All right, so let's see here. It looks like, interesting. Getting a kind of a funky thing on TikTok. All right, hey, Mary Louise Brown, thank you for the kitten kneading. That was sweet. Good morning, traveler. Glad you could make it. Oh boy, I am just off the rails, and we just barely got started. All right, well, let's jump into some stories. First up, Coinbase, Google, and numerous others have teamed up to build payment rails that allow autonomous AI agents to instantly transact at vast scale without the need for banks using stablecoins on blockchain rails. Alex, what do you make of it?
Blockchain is the future, folks. You can stick your head in the sand and you can pretend like it's not, but the reality is that train's at the station. It's loading passengers as we speak. The engines are fired up and it's about ready to pull away from the station.
Yeah.
I did get a message on my Facebook from a buddy of mine, Brian Piquel. As per yesterday's show, you might want to throw out a disclaimer that states no animals have been harmed in the making of this show. I personally have hunted with Mr. Raymer. He's taken a jib at my aiming ability. Ha ha,
Yeah.
Brian. Anyway, great show, by the way, he said.
Excellent. Thanks, Brian. And look who's here. Lisa Maria, the sheriff, just showed up. Or maybe she's been here. I just saw her. Hi, Lisa. Kissing Bandit and Lipstick and Dee both putting a whole bunch of squirrels in the chat. Boy, isn't that the truth? Genghis content. I'm derailed. I know, it's terrible, right? Oh my gosh. Hey, Deb's here. Good afternoon from Central Massachusetts. Welcome, Deb. Glad you could make it. All right, James, any comment on this Coinbase, Google, and others?
Yeah, Google Agentic Payments Protocol, or AP2, with X402 can actually pay each other. The demonstration equals the agent can discover, research, inventory, shop, and check out all from one prompt. So if you want to talk about automation, it's here, and it's going to go forward, and I think we're going to see that from now till Kingdom Come.
Right. And are we going to see a quick jump on XRP? Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, according to yesterday, I saw 270, and I hope everybody got the dip. I didn't. I jumped in as far as I'm going to jump in, but it's looking more like a pork chop instead of a steak.
Ye of little faith. Hang in there, James. It's not over yet. We got several months to go. Tina Kelly's here over on YouTube. She said, my favorite news guys. Thank you, Tina. Glad you're here. Oh, my gosh. Let's see here. Lee is here. Martin's WB just showed up. Good morning, Martin. Martin is, I'm telling you, he is absolutely stellar when it comes to selling products. He gets them, he tests them, and then he makes videos on them. Keep up the good work, Martin. You're doing a great job. Kissing Bandit. Oh, I said Kissing Bandit and Lipstick, didn't I? Hi, Bandit. Glad.
Hey, Martin, do you sell duct tape? I need you to send a roll to Sam so we can duct tape his hands to the chair and he quits pushing buttons.
Isn't that the truth? Oh, my gosh. So true. All right, well, let's move on. Oh, well, we already did that one. That's really weird. I wonder why my. Oh my goodness, look at that. All right, well, Nvidia stock. Now I'm getting more restream messages. Nvidia stock surged after announcing $100 billion open AI investment. Now, we all know what's going on with AI in terms of investment. We all know that President Trump and the cabinet are fully behind AI. Now you've got Nvidia dumping $100 billion into OpenAI. James, what do you make of that?
That's just probably the start of the investment. Um, NVIDIA is going to build hundreds of billions of dollars in data centers. The question is, if they're using 10 gigawatts of power, where are they going to harness this electricity? Are they going to be going to the small hydrogen type power units? I mean, Alex knows how much juice they use, and if they're going to be putting hundreds of billions in, our current electrical system can't take that kind of power. So they're going to have to come up with something better.
Well, and I think it's coming. I don't know what it's going to be at this point. Alex, what do you think?
I think it's going to be nuclear. I think it's going to be something like the gentleman I spoke about earlier, Isaiah Taylor, and his company that is building modular, uh, the size of a shipping container units that uh, are using a lower grade of materials, thus expediting the bring it to market scenario. And if you need more power, you simply plug another container in. I think the demand is gonna drive innovation. We're going to have it. We needed it without this. But interesting thing about Nvidia and what has driven their capital and has brought them to where they are is the Goliath that they are is mining of cryptocurrencies. They do it on GPUs. Used to you could get a high end GPU for $400-500. You can't touch a high end one now for less than $1,500, and that's because as they come out with this newer, faster ability, which GPUs all they do is crunch math. That's all they do, and so they're perfect for crunching ledger math, right? So that's what's driven the market to where it's at. So AI is driving the innovation behind the graphics cards to get stronger and faster, thus allowing them to produce more coin, which is now driving AI, which is now driving the energy sector. I mean, they're all tied together, so it's going to be an interesting ride.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And we have to keep in mind that there may be those over 5,000 patents that the government is held on to. Some of that might be released. Is it anti-rabitic technology? Is it Tesla energy? Who knows? I mean, God only knows at this point. Bandit, thank you for the chirpy kisses. That was sweet. Oh, let's see. Brian said, I heard Bitcoin is a McAfee scam. Anybody else? No, I don't believe it is, Brian. We don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but I have
The
my theories on it. What's that?
the McAfee scam was after he had passed, or supposedly passed, or whatever hat you want to wear on that one. There were some people that put out one. It was called $ whacked,
Oh,
and that was pushed by the McAfee scam. So in these things, guys, use discernment, right? Find somebody that knows a little bit more about it than you do. If you're not in the crypto space, not financial advice, but I would highly encourage you to at least get your toes in the water and start to understand what it is, why it is, how it is. Reach out to samshalhoub.com. You can book an appointment with him, and he'll walk you through getting set up to be able to purchase some Bitcoin through a third party, secured. You can trust. Just get your toes wet, start to understand what it is, because the train's going to leave the station. Probably not before the end of the year. So it's going to be steaks on my grill, courtesy
oh,
of.
there we go. Exactly. Hey, Ruby's here. Hi, Ruby. Thank you for all the gifts. How sweet. Andre Lynn 81 said, uh, she said, oh, NVIDIA to the moon. Yeah, well, Lord Bullion brought up Stargate project. Very good point, Lord Bullion. Very good point. Hey, Towie Bixby's here. Hi, Towie. Where have you been, young lady? We haven't seen you in a while. Mary Louise Brown, thank you for the kicker challenge. Well, this sucks says Candace is right. Huh. Wonder what you're referring to. I'm guessing in that other country that we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
uh, we've got some trolls in TikTok today, and they are funny. Oh, the beach chair farmer's here. Yes, Dave must be in the combine. They said, yes, he is. He's in the combine. He's got his hands full today. But he'll be back at some point. All right, let's see here.
The one you missed, the one you missed, Sam, was the ICE recruitment drive.
Yeah, I was just getting to that one. I think maybe I went out of order or something. I don't know. I'm so discombobulated right now. Anything's possible at this point. I believe I'm sitting down and I'm speaking, so far we're good. But yes, James, you're right. The ICE recruitment drive drew 150,000 applicants because of this hiring push. Why don't you tell us about it, James?
Well, you know, it's interesting. People are looking for jobs. Their requirements are quite easy. They offer a $50,000 signing bonus, a $60,000 student loan repayment program, and 25% premium pay. They can be found on usajobs.com. The career paths are in management, information technology, law, mission support, public affairs, and community outreach.
Interesting. Alex, any comment?
Mr. Holman's on fire. His plans for Coast Guard to step up things in the Gulf of America. Hang on. Announcement of 25,000+ kids. Hang on. I mean, you've got, was it Dean Cain, the actor played Superman? You know, he's like, I want to sign up. Like, everybody's like, yes. Like, it's happening.
Yeah. James, show everybody your shirt again, just in case they didn't see it. Gulf of America. Love it. Alex, liberty or death. Nice. You see, guys, see how the caliber of patriots that we have on this show? Unbelievable. Incredible. Just the mess from Texas. I use discombobulated all the time. It's a great word. Well, that's what it feels like today. I'm telling you. Oh, gosh. Kelly Nesdeff 2 said, what company was that, please? I'm not sure what company you're talking about, Kelly. Maybe you guys know.
Sam Shalhoub.
ICE. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, samshalhoub.com to click on his link to get set up with Bitcoin. Maybe that's what she was asking.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know. Maybe she can clarify.
Right. Air Traveler, we're going to get to that story in just a minute. Hey, Pureblood Holly Johns just showed up. And again, Pureblood Holly Johns does news reports throughout the day. She does a great job. If you're not following her, go over and give her a follow. She's doing a great. Keep up the good work, Holly. All right, let's see here. Dana Mackey said, love it, James. Exactly. Hey, Donna Fox is here. Jan Lovin Being Grandma said, ICE. Exactly. Oh, and Kelly Nesdeff said, on USA Jobs. Okay. Virgo 47 said, how come I can't click on your boxes? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
So, Virgo, the reason is James and I are not actually in a TikTok box. We are using a multicast software to push these boxes out to all platforms. So James and I are down in the comments, but we are not actually in a TikTok box. So give all the likes and the shares and the loves and the gifts to Sam.
Yeah, and we're trying to figure out. I mean, let's do a survey here, you guys. So this new system that we're using is much more high tech, for lack of a better term, so that people on all platforms can see the show properly. Now, I want to do a survey. If you think the old way was better, put a 1 in the chat. If you are okay or like the new one, put a 2 in the chat. So 1 the old way, 2 the new one. Let's see what everybody has to say. I'm just kind of curious. So let's see what we got here. 1, if you like the new way. 2, if you like the old way. Oh my gosh, they're all 2s. There's AJMCSJ 2, Tracy Fagan 2, Sassy Minnesota Girl 1, D 2, Wendy Wendy 3, of course. Thanks a lot, Wendy. Lynn Book, a bunch of 3s. Martin's WB 2. Kissing Bandit and Lipstick 1 and 2. Okay. DC 2. Lord Bullion 2. Kathleen Garcia 2. Scratch 65 2. Wow, there's a lot of 2s. We may have to go back to the other way, Alex. But if we do, I just wonder how we can
I
make.
thought you said 1 was the old way and 2 was the new way.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
You did. Everybody likes the. Everybody likes the new.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Jeez, I got my. See, I told you, you guys, I am off the rails today. I don't even know what I'm saying.
And so this is a perfect. If you guys are wanting to contribute, right? Because in the boxes with TikTok, you have the ability to click on James or I or Dave, and throw us gifts, which completely disrails Sam every time with the squirrels. You can still squirrel. You can still squirrel Sam. You can still squirrel Sam. You can still blow up the screen. He's going to see it. He's going to squirrel. It's okay. If you're wanting to contribute to what we're putting together and what we're doing, trying to do on the other platforms, on Rumble, it's a rant. You can donate on YouTube. You can join, and there is also a way to promote your comments over there. So we appreciate the support. On those other platforms, they don't take the significant portion that TikTok takes when you guys are so generous. So there are other ways to support us. If you're looking for somebody to get some sponsorship, if you want to get your business name out there, reach out to Sam. We're actively searching for sponsors. Good way. I mean, a couple 100,000 people across all platforms between all of us and our followers might be something you want to look into.
Yep, exactly, and we're just at about 100,000 followers now, so you definitely would get your name out there. So okay, so I guess 1 was the old way, 2 was the new way. So by far, it's the 2s. Now, Native San Diego said 3 because I can't tell the difference. Oh my gosh. Kathleen Paschke said, "Were you playing poker last night?" No, I wasn't playing poker. The problem was that we had all these technical difficulties this morning before we came on, and it just completely derailed me. So obviously, it's just going to be a free for all today. So everybody, just bear with us. D with a whole bunch of squirrels. Exactly. All right. So, geez. Okay, look, D's keeping us on track. Sponsors. All right, Lace and Steel just showed up. Good morning, Lace. Let's see. Alex, are you pulling up that other camera?
You'll have to click the button to do so, sir.
I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, everybody. So, sponsorship announcement. First up, Mike Lindell. You all know the drill. Mike's working hard to save America. If you need pillows, if you need robes, if you need slippers, sheets, towels, you name it, and go get them from Mike. Use the discount code SAM, and it not only benefits this channel, it benefits Mike, and it benefits America. Secondly, we have Neil Naturopathic. If you're looking to get rid of dandruff, grow your hair, and do it all with no chemicals or no toxins, go to neilnaturopathic.com. Use the discount code SAM20, that's SAM20, and you'll get 20% off of your entire order. And then, of course, Dr. Peter Glidden. Dr. Glidden has put together a website where you can ask just about any question on health and wellness. If you have kids, grandkids, yourself, and you have questions, go over to Dr. Glidden's website, click through it on my button on my website, use the code SAM, and you get a 30% discount. Believe me, if you have not joined his website yet, get it done today. There is a plethora of information on there. And then, Alex, what do we have for cybersecurity today?
You forgot about his book.
Oh, yeah, and if you want his book, click on the link, use SAM, get 10% off.
RiskToolTech.com, for over 18 years, helping hundreds of thousands train their staff on the cybersecurity pitfalls, as well as helping you manage and track your security and compliance needs. RiskToolTech.com.
Great. Thank you, Alex. All right. Let's see. Let me turn this one off. There we go. All right. And D, thank you for the reminder on the sponsors. Oh, let's see. So Lisa Maria, I love you too. Lisa trying to make me feel better, even though it's just a cluster today. Let's see, what do we have up next? We have, we did the ICE one, so we don't need to do that one again. The DOJ is seeking to break up Google's advertising technology monopoly in the remedy phase of the government's ad tech antitrust trial. James, what do you got on that?
Their ad manager gave them an unfair advantage that boosted its own services. The government contends remedies must be designed to restore competition, and Google's iron grip can only be solved one way: get rid of it.
Yeah,
And you know
exactly.
that's really kind of strange, Sam, because in the pioneering of any business, our goal is to exceed and excel in any business. And Google is obviously taking it to the top. They're as good as they can possibly get, and they've learned how to control a lot. And the government's saying you can't monopolize, you can't do that. And that's kind of strange that they're pulling back the reins on them.
Well, I think part of the challenge is Google, when they see a company that competes with them, what do? They buy them,
Buy them.
right? And they absorb them. So there comes a point when I think you have to say enough is enough. Now, I don't know that we've reached that point, but like geo-targeting specifically, I mean, Google either came up with it or bought the company that did, and that's ultimately what made them worth, trillions of dollars or whatever the number is, because it's used everywhere all the time. So I don't know where I really fall on that. I don't know whether the government has a place for limiting, how would I put it, limiting the free spirit and the capital markets, but I can certainly see how it could be a problem. Alex, what do you think?
Well, I mean, look at the Ma Bells, right? If you go back in time and look at how they split up the telecommunications conglomerate into multiple, only to watch them all, come back together as one again. Anyway, I'm with you, Sam. I'm on both sides of the fence, but then you step into the space where them not necessarily acting in the best interest of the customers. Um, is it time to break them up into smaller? Because monopoly is not free market. I mean, it's just not. When they get so large and have bought up all the competition, I mean, it's much like the farming for Dave, right? You have these guys that come in with these monstrous operations, which are buying up all the little bitty guys, which makes it really difficult for the little guys to compete anymore. So where's the free market in that?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Skippy over on YouTube said life was better before the internet. Well, I mean, I get your point, but the fact is, I think the internet is fantastic. I am a proponent of the internet. I think that it has enabled advances way before anything else could have. So, but again, with this monopoly breakup, I mean, they did it to Microsoft. I don't see why they wouldn't do it to Google, but again, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Let's see here. Tim Main 47 said, "Can anyone support my Tylenol fix?" Oh, we're getting to
Man,
that one, Tim. We're getting
yeah,
to it.
we will. Yeah.
Yeah. DHS warns that California's New York, Illinois, DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, warned California, New York, and Illinois to cooperate with ICE deportations. The department said more than 400,000 illegal immigrants have been arrested, 70% of whom have criminal convictions or have been charged with crimes. James?
That's it's pretty much everything you said in the intro that took away all my thunder. But
Oh, sorry.
but that's okay. When you think about 30% are organic arrests, they haven't been discovered yet. And 400,000 is a far cry from how many we really have on the books right now. We have 1.5, 1.6 million cases waiting to be heard. And that's exactly why the military is bringing in JAG officers. They're bringing in a slew of them to help produce these. And I think that's part of the Democratic Party's plan was to overwhelm them with so many cases that they can't be rapidly heard. And they're hoping that they can retain that vote. And I don't believe that they're going to retain the vote.
Yeah. Yeah. Alex?
It's It's a serious problem in this country, right? We had open borders for too long. Whatever it takes,
Yeah,
we got to fix the situation.
yeah, I agree,
And
100%.
some people's feelings are going to get hurt. Uh,
Exactly.
sorry.
So Carolyn Levitt made an announcement yesterday, quoting Tom Homan, saying that nearly 25,000 missing illegal immigrant children have been found. Now, how do you argue with those types of results, James?
You know, the 13-letter shit spreader came out on the Biden era because that's exactly who. That's exactly.
Another interstatism, everybody. Put it down, jot it down in your little book that you're keeping.
13 letter shit spreader, just in case you missed it. Go ahead.
Um, these children were found from the Biden era. Um, More than 400 sponsors were arrested. 27 minors were found not alive, either by murder, suicide, or drug overdose. And there are also cases of labor abuse and sexually trafficked. It's a horrific thing, but I'm glad they found them. And it's everybody that's responsible should be held accountable.
Yeah, 100%. Alex?
While we can celebrate that 25,000 number, there is almost 10 times that are still not accounted for, over 300,000. So while it's a great start, we're not there yet. All of us, all of us in this country can do our part. That if we see a situation, um, we have voices to speak up. There are. I don't know what is going on with my dogs. Stop! You can't be on the show. I'm sorry. No, stop it. Um, there are websites and places. Agape rescues children. There are multiple places on the internet that you can go and inform yourself and learn what to look for, what to do, who to contact. Because look, you can't have that many kids missing and somebody not know something. So I think it's on all of us. It's not just on the agencies that we're raving about. It's on all of us to help get these kids back.
Right, and that's a good point, Alex. So organizations like Agape Rescues Children, they're building facilities to help the kids that were trafficked to become healthy again. So go to agaperescueschildren.org. You can donate there. You can download a manual that will tell you what to look for when it comes to kids that are being trafficked. I would highly encourage everyone to do that. Russell Webster over on YouTube said, Sam, have you heard anything on the Brunson case? Well, I don't know if you saw Russell, but we did have Lloyd Brunson on the show about a week or two ago. And you can go to one of either my Rumble, X, or YouTube accounts, and you can watch that show. I haven't heard anything new since then. I've gotten a couple of texts from him, but nothing pertaining to the case. But apparently, he is going to be on Tucker Carlson. I don't know if it's this month or next month, but as soon as I find out, as soon as he lets me know when it's going to air, I'll let everybody else know. Oh, and that's a whole nother thing. So, was it you, Alex, that sent me the Tucker Carlson 9/11 thing that's starting? It's today, right?
Yes, sir. But it's on his paid subscription for now. I
Oh,
think I think it'll make it out to the light of day. But yeah, it's a 5-part series about what truths we are not being told about that fateful day. Which, again, Sam, you brought up in your daily dispatch that in your lifetime, you wouldn't have ever imagined some of the information that's coming out, and I for one am not imagining the information that's coming out in mine around Oklahoma City, around that day in
yep,
September.
yep, exactly, exactly. That. Well, we'll get to that in a second, but Towie Bixby said, "Call the cops." I do. She also said, "See something, say something." Towie said, "See a child crying in a store, go look." Very, very good point. Very good point, Towie.
Missingkids.org, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. There is a ton of information and training where you can learn to identify both the perpetrators and children that may be the victims.
Yeah. Skippy said part one is free on YouTube. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Skippy. I didn't know that. Excellent. Okay, well, let's move on. So, yesterday we discussed the state of Palestine and that Australia, Canada, and Portugal have recognized the state of Palestine. Well, now France has also recognized the state of Palestine, and Monaco. Yep, there we go. And I'm having some issues over here today, but so I really don't see how anybody can argue with the state of Palestine. I just don't see it. And I think, is that going to be what triggers President Trump against that other country that I think we got bumped off the internet for a couple of weeks ago? I don't know. We'll have to see. But James, what do you make of it?
Well, France, Andorra, Belgium, Luxembourg, Malta, Monaco joined the diplomatic push as Israel unleashes fierce attacks on Gaza. So far, 65,000 Palestinians have perished. So I think every day, I think we're getting a little closer and a little closer. I'm not sure if many people are aware, but there are several of these states that are joining the Palestinian movement, and they have warrants out for Netanyahu's arrest.
Yep, exactly. And let's not forget how many tens of thousands of Israelis were in the streets protesting Netanyahu, and they have for the last several years. That tells you something. Alex, what do you make of it?
This is a centuries long problem. So I don't think anyone's going to be able to step in quickly and resolve. It's going to take some time. But someone such as our current head of our country is a deal maker, and so I hope and pray that just like the Ukraine situation, that we can end the conflict and find some peaceful resolution. Nobody wants this type of conflict.
Right, exactly. Hey, Richard Presente just showed up over on YouTube. Hey, Richard. Valerie James said truckers against trafficking, aka TAT. Thank you for that. Virgo 47 said France is in free fall, so is Italy now. Yeah, they're having all kinds of issues over there. Squiggly 77 said Trump is the rightful king of England. Well, I saw that video you sent me, Squiggly, and here's the thing. I believe there is some juice and some receipts in terms of Canada and the U.S. We had what was that guy's name? Sidney Brewer on the show several months ago, and he talked about and he brought the receipts verifying what you are essentially saying. Now, I don't know that President Trump is the king of England, but I think that England has capitulated to the U.S. and President Trump and the team. Now, that being said, how it's going to play out, when it's going to play out, your guess is as good as mine. James, any thoughts on that?
Well, I believe you're probably right, Sam. He was over in England and he walked in front of the Queen. I mean, he's not giving her any respect. Um, I think it's a telltale sign of the times. Him sitting with Kate Middleton last week, that was kind of interesting. Just watching it go back and forth. No telling what's going to happen here, but I think you might be onto something with what you just said.
Yeah, exactly. Alex?
Done Right TV. They've been protesting Trump for years too. It's hard to see through the smoke and mirrors. So there's definitely a tide shift from his first go around in office as in this go around from the office. I know, those of us that were the tinfoil hat wearing guys and capitulation tour the first time and everything else, but this time it's different. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different type of capitulation, I believe. I think maybe the first time around it was, in protest, and this time maybe there's some sincerity in that capitulation that we're sick and tired of constant wars, and we're sick and tired of manipulated currencies, and we're sick and tired of our people being messed with. So maybe there's a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. David Morales over on YouTube said that walking ahead is correct protocol. You're right, David. When they're inspecting the troops or the guard or whatever they're called over there, you're right. The dignitary does go ahead of them. But I think from a symbolic standpoint, it was reminiscent of President Trump's capitulation tour over back in 2017. And that's kind of what we're referring to. The protocol, you're right, is correct. But again, I think that there's much more going on behind the scenes, in my opinion. Wendy Jensen over on Facebook said the greatest show on earth. Boy, Wendy, that is a mouthful, and you are absolutely right, in my opinion.
Lee
All
is
right.
on Lee is on my Facebook and said, "Hi, friends, Grand Rising." Good morning,
Oh,
Lee.
hey, Lee. Hi, Lee. Let's see. Virgo 47 said the king spoke to the brotherhood and praised them, so I give him zero credence. I'm not sure which brotherhood you're talking about, but again, I don't think optically we're seeing all that's going on. I think that there is much more going on behind the scenes, as I've been saying for years. But again, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Kissing Bandit Lipstick said only royalty wears yellow. First lady was rocking it. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yellow for royalty. Interesting. If that's true, then Bandit, you're right. That would be serious. Very serious. All right, let's move on. So, all right, these are the big stories of the day from yesterday. So we all know that President Trump made some announcements yesterday, and RFK Jr. was with him. And President Trump announced that the FDA has identified a connection between Tylenol use during pregnancy and autism, advising that it should be used minimally, if at all, and only under medical supervision. Now, he also brought up vaccines. He brought up the fact that there are groups who take no vaccines or pills and have no autism. And then he asked RFK Jr. if he was correct in saying that. And RFK said, yes, there are some studies, and the Amish, for example. And then President Trump RFK Jr. talked about the potential links between autism and vaccines has been actively suppressed in the past. And it's going to take time for an honest look at it. Well, I can tell you from experience, everyone, I have been sounding the alarm about vaccines since 1987. I was part of the National Vaccine Information Center, the NVIC. The president at that time, Cindy, was a friend of mine and who initially started me introducing me to the NVIC. We are talking about a decades long ugly situation with these childhood vaccinations. Did you know that not one childhood vaccine has ever been tested for efficacy? Not one. In 70 years, 80 years, not one study saying that it works. Back then, when I would tell people about these things, they looked at me like I was crazy, like I had a horn coming out of my forehead. And it was my brother, Dr. Mike, God rest his soul, that initially started me down this road. He was a chiropractor by trade and very well versed in this. My brother was so far ahead of the curve 30 years ago, it was scary. And they took his life in the hospital during COVID with remdesivir. But that being said, the exposure that we're seeing now, I didn't think we'd see in my lifetime, and it's happening as we speak. Alex, what do you think?
Um, again, it goes back to exposure and being in a time of radical transparency. And I think whether you're looking at fiat currencies or the medical system or our government and the money and where it's going, like it's a great time to be alive. There's a lot of 13 letter shit spreaders going on right now.
I got to write that one down. The interstatism.
I
James?
don't know.
Um, the bad part about it is when somebody has a headache or they have an owie, they need an aspirin. Oftentimes they turn to Tylenol. We really don't know what's in there, but there has to be some explanation, and this is what RFK Jr. and the president's after. Autism since 2000 has gone up 400%. That's crazy. A crazy number. It now autism now affects 1 in 31 children. 1 in 31. And their answer right now is to label the up or update the labels and information availability. Many of the autistic children are folate deficient in the brain, and it can be treated with leucovorin. I believe is how you pronounce that. But that's a small fix. We need to go to the root of the problem, and I think that's what they're trying to identify.
And that's another point that you just brought up, James. So young parents that have kids that they've never had before, they've always been in panic. I can't tell you over the years how many times I've had friends call me saying, "Oh my God, Sam, so and so, my child has 102 fever," and I've told them over and over, and this is not medical advice. This is my opinion, but I've told them over and over again that's not a bad thing. That's the body's way to heat up the system to burn out the bacteria and the virus. I remember when I was a kid, my dad, what did he do whenever we got sick? He would wrap us in a blanket and make us sweat. The brain damage does not occur until after 108 degrees, typically. Again, this is my opinion, but I'm very well versed in this. So when you're giving these kids this uh, substance to lower their temperature, not only are we not knowing what's in it, like James said, but you're defeating the purpose of a fever in the body. The body's creating a fever for a reason. The body has something called an innate intelligence. So when you cut your hand, you don't have to sit there and say, okay, now send white blood cells to that cut. No, it knows what to do, which goes back to the major problem. The fundamental problem is people are nutritionally deficient and they're toxic. So unless you have the proper nutrition, unless you have specifically detox your liver once or twice a year, you're going to have issues. But introducing some chemical to lower the temperature of the body is doing the exact opposite of what the body's trying to do. Does that make sense to everybody? I mean, these are some basic things that are being outlined here, and I just can't believe that. I shouldn't say I can't believe. I'm so excited that RFK Jr. and President Trump are bringing this out into the light. This is a big deal, you guys. I didn't think it was going to happen in my lifetime. This is historic. Alex?
Well, I think anytime that you're injecting anything into the body's going to have a reaction to it. Some children handle it okay, some children do not. I would rather err on the side of caution. He also said they should spread them out. There shouldn't be so many. They're moving the Hep B to age 12 plus, which makes sense to me. Unless the mother tests positive when the baby's coming out, then maybe I'm not a doctor. I don't go to the doctor. Like at 50, my 50th birthday 2 years ago in October, my mom and Allie and everyone, you got to go to the doctor. You got to go get the checkup. You got to go because I haven't been in, I don't know, 14, 15 years. Legit. Okay, I'll go. That made them feel better, so I went. And guess what they had to tell me? Oh, well, your cholesterol is out of whack and you need to take this pill and and I'm like, not happening, doc.
No.
The only beneficial thing that I had done in going to the doctor was I did have all my hormones tested. I wanted to know where my T was. I wanted to know where my hormones were and my vitamins. Where are my vitamins in my blood? And that's what I paid for. I didn't get the anti-statins and this to lower that and because it's been the same exact number since I was 22 years old. It
Mhm.
hasn't changed. So
Right.
I there are great things that the medical world can do, and there are some things that they don't do so well. And I don't think it's the medical world per se as much as it is the money behind pharmaceuticals, right? Every single advertisement on my mother's TV, because she doesn't have anything else to do. She lays and watches TV. Every other commercial is a pharmaceutical. Every single other commercial.
Right.
This one does this. This one does that. This one does this. This one does that. So acetaminophen, which I thought I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. Our president should have done a little homework before he stepped up in front of the country because he couldn't even pronounce acetaminophen. So, um, to me, that was a little. You can tell when he's out of his realm because he's not a doctor and he doesn't articulate well when he's outside of his comfort zone. So he struggled a little yesterday, but the doctors did well in explaining what they see. And like they said, it's not going to hurt anything for us to try this. Let's try spacing them out every over a 5-year period instead of all of them within the first several months of life. Let's take the problem is they don't have any other fever reducers. Acetaminophen is extremely effective at reducing fever. So unless it's a life-threatening situation, just don't take it. And let's see. I mean, that's a pretty easy experiment. We're still giving them, but we're going to spread them out, and it's still available, but only in emergencies. And let's watch what happens in a period of 3 to 5 years. Then we know, like they've got science, they've got studies. The studies that have been out there, pharmaceutical companies have suppressed, as you said, efficacy. Show me an efficacy. Show me that. Somebody find me the efficacy of what they're putting into kids.
There is
And
not one.
I know, and that's I have a very dear friend. His son and my son are 6 months apart. And I've gone round and round with him about it because he doesn't think that's what caused it.
Well, one of
It's
the things
terrible.
you could talk to him, Alex, is tell him to get a book called Callous Disregard from Dr.
He's one of those people you can't talk to.
Well, yeah, then there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
We were talking about cholesterol, and David Morales on YouTube said your brain is cholesterol. David,
Correct.
You're absolutely right. Every nerve cell in your body is coated with something called myelin. 2/3 of your brain is made up of a substance called myelin. Myelin is cholesterol. Why is it that dementia and Alzheimer's is the number 4 killer in America now? Because for 70 years, the government's been telling you to eat low-fat foods. Low-fat foods has been substituted with carbohydrate and sugar. So when you deplete the natural cholesterol intake from meats, dairy products, nuts, and so forth, avocados, your body is going to harvest that myelin from somewhere, and it typically takes it from the brain. That's why Alzheimer's and dementia is out of control. So again, this is just my opinion. It's not medical advice, but I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about, and that is a very important thing to for everyone to understand.
Well, and there's many studies that show the moment you start taking those antistatins to lower your cholesterol, within 6 months you're going to develop diabetes. Like it's just this ever evolving scenario. People are asking, well, what about ibuprofen? Look, there's 100 resources on this internet that we all use every single day. I encourage everyone to look up just 2 words: ancient medicine. Look and see how, before pharmaceuticals existed, how the Indians did it, how other cultures have done it, because there is a ton of information on teas and tinctures, and you can take onions and honey, and like there's so many ways. 90% of the time when somebody has a headache, it's because they're dehydrated. If you're having soreness in your back and other joints and things, it's probably because you're not exercising. There may be a legitimate issue. You've got a tendon, you've got cartilage issues. Like, I get it. There are places where, knee replacements, hip replacements, our surgical side of things is phenomenal. What they can do, heart surgeons, brain surgeons, like there's some great things. This is not medical advice, as we've said, but look into past ways that medicines were used. Flowers, dandelion tea. There are so many different things out there that don't they don't cost you anything. They don't
And
cost
those
you
are
anything.
and those are a lot of the questions that you can ask Dr. Glidden on his website. That's why I encourage everybody to get that membership. David Morales said, David, I'm going to put this up on the screen. So what you're talking about, David, is actually the number 1 killer. And I got to be careful how I say this. Well, the term is called iatrogenic disease. Iatrogenic disease causes more deaths in America than diabetes, cancer, and heart problems combined. So you're absolutely right, David, and it's number 1, but you're never going to hear about it. Well, you haven't heard about it in decades. I have a strange feeling that that's going to start coming into focus here. And again, this is not medical advice. These are my opinions. Virgo 47 said, just give parents the choice for shots. Absolutely, I agree. I don't think that we should outline, let people make their own choice.
Parents
Glenn's
already have the choice. Parents already have the choice. You may get some pushback from your doctors, but at the end of the day, parents do have a choice. And yes, the schools and this and that and everybody else may come up against you, but you've got to stand in that square and fight for your kids. I'm just saying you do have a choice.
right, exactly. Glenn said garlic. Yes. Deed said raisins. Yeah, I think raisins have some benefit as well too. Excuse me. Towie Bixby said getting a cold, use vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Absolutely. That is Dr. God, what was his name? The gentleman who passed. He was the one that was the proponent of that particular combination.
The little Jewish doctor.
Yeah. What the heck was his name?
Dr. Zelensky.
Zelensky. There you go. Yep. he championed that, and he was absolutely right. Absolutely. Valerie James said, my friend was bullied by New York doctors. Yeah, well, you have to stand up for it. I went through years of that with my kids when they were young. But again, I do believe it should be up to the parents. So Valerie James said, my doctors know better. I'm sure they do, Valerie. They're not going to mess with you. Squiggly77 talked about Dr. Sebi. Yeah, he's another one that has great information. I mean, he's not with us any longer, but his teachings are out there for sure. 100% I agree. All right, everybody. So that's all we have for today. We did not make our 100,000, so there will not be dancing today, but that's okay. We always have tomorrow, but I would like to make some honorable mentions. Mary Lees Brown, Benji 1959, Towie Bixby, Franny Dragonfly, Wendy, Traveler, Kevin Kiesler, Ruby, and the list goes on. Thank you all for the gifts. It's truly appreciated. So Alex, as he's petting his dog.
We have a guest appearance today. Hi, Roper. He couldn't
there
stand
we go. It. There we go.
Roper? Fathead. All right.
All right, so let's move on to final thoughts. James?
Well, just so everybody knows, a 13-letter shit spreader is really an international, just so you know. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. I not only learn here, I try to educate on some level going forward. I know we got a lot of trials and tribulations to go through as we move forward. Keep a stiff upper lip about crypto. I think it's it's at a final shakeout. And when it takes off, it's going to take off. And, Alex and I can bicker back and forth until we're blue in the face. But long time between now and the end of the year.
Exactly.
Because I'm right.
Native San Diegan, I wanted to say this, said garlic works great for oncoming flu and cold. Yes, Native San Diegan, garlic is a natural antibiotic. I eat it all the time, raw. That's just my opinion. Alex, final thoughts?
Allie puts so much garlic in everything we eat, I don't have to eat it raw.
Good.
I say it every show. Time is the one thing you can't purchase more of or create more of, so spend it wisely. And we very much appreciate all of you coming in here to spend your time, send your thoughts, your prayers, your love, your gifts to us. It's seen, heard, and felt, and we appreciate it very much. And I'll end it with this. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. I couldn't have said it better, gentlemen. We are so grateful that you're part of this with us. We get to spend a little over an hour a day with all of you, and great insight. This community is very well read, very intuitive, and I, for one, am glad to see it. So keep in mind, the best is yet to come, and there's a whole lot coming. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be on time tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.